All the latest from around the world in half an hour. It's after the news right here now on ITV.
Hello and welcome to ITV News Westcountry. I'm Ian Axton.
And I'm Kylie Pentelow. Tonight's main stories. New clues in the hunt for the killer of Melanie Hall 17 years after her murder.
We feel that the day when this case comes to an end is a lot closer because of the events that have happened in the last 24 hours.
First Great Western on the tracks for 2 more years, but what will it mean for the region's rail passengers?
Enough power for 2,500 homes. Council-owned wind turbines for Bristol.
And we're live at Cribbs Causeway ahead of tonight's Gromit auction. Good evening.
Hello and welcome to ITV News Westcountry. I'm Bob Cruz.
And I'm Kylie Pentelow. Tonight's main stories. Firefighters across the region walk out in the first strike for 10 years.
The quick injection that can transform the lives of women with breast cancer.
Solar power, industrialisation of our countryside, or a good source of renewable energy.
And we put your questions to the Labour leader Ed Miliband and find out his holiday plans for the South West.
Hello and welcome to ITV News Central. On the programme tonight, the dangerous dolls that could cause cancer. Now concerns are being taken to the Chinese government.
The children were playing with the dolls for some time, but since I've heard this, the dolls have been bagged up and removed from the house.
New year, new fares as travel costs go up for commuters.
We take a drive down the memory lane of Midlands motorsport as we remember racing driver Bob Gerrard.
And 100 years since the start of the First World War, we visit one of the country's biggest memorials.
Good evening. On Wales at 6, critics claim new domestic violence laws will let down the people they're meant to protect. The Tornado pilot failed by safety measures. His father calls for a public inquiry. The inconvenient truth, we reveal the spending cuts closing down our public toilets. And built by Welsh engineers, could this be the fastest car in the world? Hello, I'm Andrea Byrne. Welcome to the programme.
Hello and welcome to the ITV News. This is Granada Reports.
Hello there. On the programme this evening.
She was never down. She was always happy, and I think everyone will remember her by a smile because she's always smiling no matter how she felt.
Precious memories of Alice Pine as tributes pour in for the teenager from Cumbria whose brave battle against cancer inspired people all over the world.
So did my son. He's Indian son, Indian child.
The mother of an Indian student missing in Manchester since New Year's Eve says not enough is being done to find him and calls on her own government to step in.
Winter's finally here, and with it the first significant snows. We find out how the region's coping.
Double six for a third world title for Anastasia Dobromyslova. She has done it.
And born in Russia, living in Ellesmere Port, the 3 times BDO World Darts Champion joins us live in studio.
Welcome to Lookaround, news, sport and features from Cumbria and the south of Scotland.
With just weeks until Scotland goes to the polls, we ask how Scottish independence would affect the farming community.
Also on the programme, the number of complaints against Cumbria police rises by nearly a third in the past year.
It's 50 years to the day since 2 men went to the gallows in the last of Britain's hangings for their part in a Cumbrian murder.
And we take a closer look at one of Carlisle's best-known streets through the eyes of one of our high street heroes.
Hello from Ian and from me, and welcome to Wednesday's programme. Good evening, welcome to ITV News Tyne Tees. Tonight's headlines. The region takes the snowfall in its stride so far.
Tonight when the temperatures drop, we'll be out gritting again before that ice gets the chance to take hold.
Delight as a Teesside's chemicals site beats rivals to win government cash for a pioneering apprenticeship scheme.
And racing driver Alan McNish comes home for the day.
Good evening, welcome to ITV News. This is Calendar with Duncan Wood and Christine Talbot.
These are this evening's main headlines. Hail to the history makers. The Bantam's wait is finally over as Bradford City booked their place at Wembley.
I booked my hotel room before we played Arsenal. Get in!
Come on, in our lifetime will I ever see that we would ever go to Wembley in a League Cup final. Come on!
It's unbelievable. It really is. It's a wonderful, wonderful achievement.
Hanging in the balance, a fresh landslide leaves more homes on the edge. Now a rows erupted over who's to blame.
Everybody in love, go put your hands up. Everybody in love, go put your hands up.
And broadcasting from their bedroom to the world, the Yorkshire web sensations who've clocked up almost 15 million fans.
Good evening, this is ITV News Anglia.
Tonight's main stories.
The big chill gets worse. More disruption as the whole region shivers under a blanket of snow.
Classrooms closed again. This time, nearly 2,000 schools are shut.
Battling through, 4x4s are drafted in to get hospital staff to work.
And counting the cost, the business is bracing themselves for the economic chill. Hello from Emma and me, and welcome to this evening's programme.
Good evening, welcome to the ITV News in London. Tonight's main stories. The fight for the future of London's emergency services. Painting posters for Romani, the school numb at the news of the 8-year-old's murder in Jamaica. The snow is here, but there's worse to come. Advice for London's most vulnerable. Plus...
Oh my God! Oh my God!
A great speech and another gong. So what chances of Adele now grabbing an Oscar?
Good evening to you. Welcome to ITV News Meridian.
Tonight's headlines: unlawful killing. A coroner demands breath tests for Navy personnel after a shooting on a nuclear sub.
The events on board HMS Astute, whilst heartbreaking and tragic for my family, could have been tragic for many other families also.
Skidding on ice after the first snow of the new year. Warnings of a freeze overnight.
On the water, why round the world racing is coming back home to the south.
And Turner's finest work brought together for the first time in a place that inspired him. Good evening.
Hello and welcome to ITV News. The headlines on Channel this evening.
He stole my childhood. A victim of this former Jersey centenaire speaks out as he's jailed for sex crimes.
State of Jersey Police would like to recognise the courage of the victims and their families for giving evidence in this case.
Also on the programme, dual control. The man in charge of both Guernsey's police and border force says he can't rule out job losses.
Plus, while we ordinary islanders are struggling to cope with a pay freeze, politicians in here can pocket an extra £818 a year.
And Wizard of Oz, Heather Watson defies the odds again to reach the Australian Open third round.